So, there's only one 3000X coin left. But before I get into that, disclaimer. Changing your life can be pretty traumatizing. So if you want to stay comfortable, turn this video off right now. The last 3000X coin is Truebit. Guys, there's only one Apple, Tesla, Bitcoin, Amazon. There are no more. The only time you can make life-changing, multi-generational money is when the world changes and you bet on the leader. Apple killed the telephone. Did you buy Apple stock? Probably not. Amazon killed shopping malls, but did you buy Amazon stock? Probably not. Tesla, you guessed it, killed the gasoline car, but did you buy Tesla stock? Now what did Bitcoin do? It killed central banks. But did you buy Bitcoin 10 years ago? The only way to make multi-generational, life-changing money is to notice something that is fundamentally changing in the world and to buy a shit ton of equity in whatever is causing that change. Now, we are at the tail end of the digital technology revolution. The world doesn't change at a constant rate. It stays the same for about 100 or even 1,000 years. Change happens within a few years. Those few years are now over. And there's one big change left. That's decentralized artificial intelligence. There's only one way you can invest in it, and it's called Truebit. Building a blockchain is hard. Building an artificial intelligence computing environment, even harder. To build a decentralized artificial intelligence environment is something only one or two people on this planet can do. The only ones that come close to this is Ethereum. And Ethereum took Bitcoin and simply added the ability to process conditions and rules. So you would think that the only people experienced enough and smart enough to build something even more complex than Ethereum would have to have been the people that built Ethereum itself, right? Well, you would be right. The builders of Truebit protocol are Jason Tuch and Christian Rottweisner. They were the two main developers responsible for building Ethereum with Vitalik Buterin, Charles Hopkinson, and Gavin Wood. Charles Hopkinson's already left the Ethereum Foundation to build Cardano, and he made his early investors over 1,000 times their money. Gavin Wood, he built Polkadot, and he also made his investors over 1,000 times their money. Jason Tuch and Christian Rottweisner have been working on Truebit for the last 5 years, and just recently released the Truebit token. If you've ever wanted to be an early investor in anything, there might be a no-brainer here for you. Now, the doubtful, cynical side of your mind might object and say, yeah, but if this is so amazing, wouldn't it already have some major investors attached to it? Ever heard of Fred Usham of Paradigm Capital? Ever heard of Coinbase? I'm sure you have. You've used it probably. Fred is the founder of Coinbase, and he invested in Truebit. If you don't know that much about Paradigm Capital, just know this. It's the world's biggest multi-billion-dollar crypto fund, and most of the money they have is still in cash right now. At this point, you might be like, it sounds too good to be true. Opportunities like this don't happen to guys like me. Becoming a multi-millionaire can't be this easy, can it? I'm not the kind of guy that invests $1,000 and ends up with $1 million. Well, let me put an end to that line of thought. Most multi-millionaires I know aren't luckier nor smarter than you. Most are total morons who simply took a chance and were too lazy to sell before it 3000x'd. You might also think, if this is the world's biggest crypto venture capital fund, if they bought Truebit, why isn't the market cap so low? The answer to that is simple. They bought in about 3 years ago, and in the crypto space, 3 weeks is an eternity. Everybody forgets, and they dump it if there's not constant media coverage pumping it up. Yes, there are complex things like bonding curve, burning, minting, tokenomics, and there are endless morons trying to sound super smart and say these internal tokenomics will prevent Truebit from mega pumping. I'm not going to explain to you why they're wrong, because that would require a technical discussion. I'm just going to tell you that they're morons and they're wrong. Finally, the last little bit of self-sabotaging doubt in your mind right now might say, if this is so great, why is the price so cheap and nobody talking about it except you, who happens to think everybody's a moron? This is the simplest question to answer. Go to both Coinbase and Binance. Do a search for Truebit and attempt to buy it. Both of the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges are currently doing a blatant, flat-out bait-and-switch scam that takes you from Truebit to a scam coin called TrueFi. Now, you would think the average buyer could tell the difference between two coins, right? But in Chinese, where most of the world's money comes from nowadays, Truebit and TrueFi are pronounced exactly the same. Seriously. The world's biggest mega whales and market makers are intentionally deflecting attention away from Truebit, the last 9,000x coin. But hey, you got a vaccine to take, a mask to wear, and a pronoun to use. Oh, and a few reproductive organs to cut off. You better attend to those things first before they notice you're not falling in line.